High in the Himalayas, shrouded in mist and legend, lies a kingdom unlike any other. It is a land where ancient monasteries cling to cliffs, prayer flags flutter in the wind, and the echoes of chanting monks fill the air. Welcome to Bhutan, the land of the Thunder Dragon, a place where time seems to move at a different pace. Bhutan is a country that has captured the imagination of travelers and adventurers for centuries. Its remote location, breathtaking scenery, and unique culture have made it a destination for those seeking something truly special. In this exploration of Bhutan, we will journey to the heart of this extraordinary kingdom. Bhutan is a small, landlocked country nestled in the eastern Himalayas, bordered by India to the south, east, and west, and by China to the north, covering an area of approximately 38,394 square kilometers, or about 14,824 square miles. Its rugged terrain, characterized by soaring mountains, deep valleys, and rushing rivers, has largely isolated Bhutan from the outside world for much of its history. This isolation has helped to preserve Bhutan's unique culture and traditions, making it a living museum of ancient Buddhist practices. From the subtropical lowlands in the south to the glacial peaks of the north, Bhutan offers a glimpse into a world untouched by time. Bhutan's capital city, Thimphu, is a fascinating blend of tradition and modernity. With a population of around 800,000 people, Bhutan remains one of the least densely populated countries in the world. What truly sets Bhutan apart from other countries is its unique approach to development, one that prioritizes happiness over material wealth. This philosophy, known as Gross National Happiness (GNH), was introduced by the fourth king of Bhutan, Jigme Singye Wangchuk, in 1972. GNH is based on the belief that true progress should be measured not just by economic indicators, but also by the well-being of the people and the health of the environment. The four pillars of GNH are sustainable economic development, conservation of the environment, preservation of culture, and good governance. Bhutan's pursuit of happiness is not just a lofty ideal, it is a way of life. From the snow-capped peaks of the Himalayas to the sun-drenched shores of the Mediterranean, our planet is a tapestry of cultures, landscapes, and stories waiting to be told. In this series, Nations of the World, we embark on a virtual journey to explore the hidden gems and iconic landmarks that make each country unique. Join us as we delve into the heart of diverse nations, uncovering their history, traditions, and the people who shape their identity. So fasten your virtual seatbelts and get ready to experience the world, one captivating country at a time. To understand the heart of Bhutan, we must look back at its rich history, which is steeped in myth, spirituality, and resilience. Bhutan's story begins thousands of years ago, with early human settlements that date as far back as 2000 BCE. However, the first monumental event in Bhutanese history arrived with the introduction of Buddhism in the 8th century. This period saw the arrival of Guru Padmasambhava, also known as Guru Rinpoche, a revered figure who introduced Vajrayana Buddhism, the cornerstone of Bhutanese spirituality to this day. It was during his legendary journey to Bhutan that he is said to have meditated at the Tiger's Nest Monastery, or Parotaksang, one of the most iconic symbols of Bhutan. This marked the beginning of Bhutan's transformation into a Buddhist kingdom. Transition. By the 17th century, Bhutan was still a land of fragmented regions ruled by different clans and leaders. But in 1616, a visionary leader named Nawang Namgyal changed everything. He fled religious persecution in Tibet and arrived in Bhutan, where he would unify the country under his rule. Nawang Namgyal, now recognized as the first Dzong Rinpoche, is remembered as the man who brought Bhutan together. Under his leadership, Bhutan fought off numerous Tibetan invasions and laid the foundations for what we now know as the dual system of governance, where spiritual and temporal authority are intertwined. His creation of the Dzongs, or fortress monasteries, such as the famous Punakha Dzong and Tashicho Dzong, became both centers of administration and religious practice, and they still stand today as architectural marvels. Though Nawang Namgyal passed away in 1651, his legacy continued to shape Bhutan for centuries. Transition. In the 20th century, Bhutan was transformed once again, this time by a young and charismatic leader named Ugyen Wangchuk. In 1907, he was unanimously elected as Bhutan's first king, marking the beginning of the Wangchuk Dynasty, which still reigns today. His coronation solidified Bhutan's unity, and in 1910 the kingdom signed the Treaty of Punakha with British India, ensuring Bhutan's autonomy in exchange for allowing Britain to manage its foreign affairs. As the 20th century unfolded, Bhutan took significant steps towards modernization, but always with careful attention to preserving its cultural and spiritual heritage. Jigme Dorji Wangchuk, the third king, known as the father of modern Bhutan, ruled from 1952 and pushed for many reforms, including abolishing serfdom, establishing a legal code, and guiding Bhutan into the global community when it joined the United Nations in 1971. His son, the fourth king, Jigme Singye Wangchuk, ascended the throne in 1972 and would leave a lasting mark on the world with his introduction of gross national happiness, or GNH, transition. In 2006, Jigme Singye Wangchuk made the unprecedented decision to abdicate the throne, passing leadership to his son, Jigme Kesa Namgyal Wangchuk, the fifth king. 2 years later, in 2008, Bhutan took another bold step when it transitioned to a constitutional monarchy, becoming one of the youngest democracies in the world. Today, Bhutan remains a symbol of balance between tradition and modernity, between spiritual well-being and economic growth. Under King Jigme Kesa Namgyal Wangchuk, the country has continued to prioritize environmental conservation, and it is proud to be one of the few carbon-negative countries in the world. The preservation of its forests, its strong commitment to cultural heritage, and the careful opening up of tourism have allowed Bhutan to maintain its unique identity on the global stage. In the 21st century, Bhutan's leadership includes figures who blend tradition with progressive ideals. Queen Jetsun Pema, crowned in 2011, is not only a beloved symbol of the monarchy, but also a strong advocate for children's welfare, education, and women's rights. Her modern approach to royal duties and environmental activism has made her a global icon, particularly in promoting sustainable development and conservation. Another pivotal figure is Dasho Kinli Dorji, a former secretary of the Ministry of Information and Communications who played an integral role in Bhutan's careful opening up to the world. His work in modernizing Bhutan's media and encouraging the responsible use of digital technology helped Bhutan preserve its cultural integrity while embracing globalization. His contributions ensured that Bhutan remains connected to the global community while holding on to its rich traditions. From the legendary Guru Rinpoche to the Wangchuk Dynasty, and from the modern roles of Queen Jetsun Pema and Dasho Kinli Dorji, Bhutan's history is a tale of resilience, spiritual depth, and a deep connection to its land and people. Through the philosophy of gross national happiness and a determination to stay true to its roots, Bhutan remains a beacon of harmony in the modern world. Nestled in the heart of a high-altitude valley lies Thimphu, the capital city of Bhutan. Unlike the bustling metropolises of other nations, Thimphu exudes a unique charm, seamlessly blending ancient traditions with modern amenities. Thimphu's skyline is dominated by the imposing Tashicho Dzong, a magnificent 17th century fortress. Despite its relatively small size, Thimphu offers a glimpse into the heart of Bhutanese society. Bhutan's mountainous terrain is not merely a geographical feature, it is an integral part of the nation's identity. Among Bhutan's most iconic peaks is Gangkar Puensum, standing tall at 7,570 meters. Bhutan has banned mountaineering on peaks higher than 6,000 meters out of respect for local beliefs. Trekking through Bhutan's mountains is an experience unlike any other. Just as the mountains define Bhutan's skyline, its rivers serve as its lifeblood. Originating from glacial melts in the Himalayas, these rivers flow southward, cutting deep gorges and valleys. The four major river systems create a complex network of waterways that irrigate the land and provide hydroelectric power. The rivers are also deeply intertwined with Bhutanese culture and spirituality. Imagine a society where development is measured not just by economic indicators, but by the health of its environment and the well-being of its citizens. GNH rests upon four interconnected pillars, each crucial to creating a balanced and fulfilling life for Bhutan's citizens. Bhutan has prioritized eco-friendly tourism and renewable energy sources, ensuring that economic progress doesn't come at the expense of its pristine environment. Bhutan's gross national happiness has gained global attention. Its development model inspires worldwide amidst climate change and inequality. In 2011, the UN urged nations to prioritize happiness in policies. Bhutan's GNH journey continues, emphasizing well-being and sustainability. Now, let's explore one of Bhutan's most important symbols. Let's begin with the national flag. Bhutan's flag is a striking blend of yellow and orange, divided diagonally by the powerful image of a white dragon, or druk. The yellow represents the secular authority of the king, symbolizing the monarchy that has unified and protected this nation. The orange is a reminder of the deep spiritual traditions of Vajrayana Buddhism that have shaped Bhutan's soul. And at the heart of it all, the white dragon symbolizes purity, its claws holding jewels that represent the nation's wealth and prosperity. The dragon's fierce expression speaks of the country's determination to protect its sovereignty. These symbols reflect Bhutan's harmony with nature, Buddhist principles, and collective happiness. Revered as a protector, the raven is associated with the deity Mahakala, a guardian of Bhutan. The raven is so important to Bhutan's identity that it sits atop the royal crown, symbolizing the protective strength of the monarchy and the nation. Now let's turn to Bhutan's national animal, the Takin. You might not have seen anything quite like it. A blend of a goat and an antelope, a creature as unique as the legend behind it. According to folklore, the divine madman, Lama Drukpa Kunli, created the Takin by combining the head of a goat with the body of a cow. This bizarre yet majestic animal roams the high altitudes of Bhutan, symbolizing the country's unique and vibrant natural heritage. Bhutan's national emblem, a symbol of the spiritual and temporal aspects of the kingdom, features a double diamond thunderbolt placed above a lotus, surmounted by a jewel and framed by two dragons. The emblem represents the harmony between secular and religious power. Lastly, the Himalayan cypress, Bhutan's national tree, stands tall and resilient, symbolizing the strength and simplicity of the Bhutanese people. This evergreen tree thrives in the country's rugged terrain, embodying the enduring spirit of Bhutan. Every culture has its heroes, but in Bhutan, one of the most revered figures is also the most unconventional. Meet Drukpa Kunli, a Buddhist monk, but not your typical monk. He is known as the Divine Madman, a man who broke every norm to deliver profound spiritual teachings in the most extraordinary ways. Drukpa Kunli came to Bhutan in the 15th century, and ever since, his legend has lived on as one of the most beloved and entertaining stories in Bhutanese folklore. Unlike other spiritual leaders, Drukpa Kunli used humor, irreverence, and even sexual innuendo to convey his messages about enlightenment and spiritual freedom. He showed the Bhutanese people that true spirituality could be found through joy and spontaneity rather than through strict, rigid practices. One of his most famous tales is the time he subdued a fierce demoness named Loro Duem, who had been terrorizing a region of Bhutan. The divine madman, armed with his flaming thunderbolt of wisdom, chased the demoness into a cave and subdued her through a playful but powerful act of enlightened madness. That very place is where Chimi Lakhang, a temple built in his honor, stands today. This sacred site, located in the Punakha Valley, is still visited by couples seeking fertility blessings, a lasting testament to Drukpa Kunli's influence on Bhutanese spiritual life. But that's not all. Drukpa Kunli's presence can still be seen everywhere in Bhutan, quite literally. His legacy includes the widespread use of phallic symbols as talismans for good luck and fertility, adorning the walls of homes and buildings across the country. These symbols are said to ward off evil spirits, bringing humor and protection to everyday life. Through his legendary antics and teachings, Drukpa Kunli showed the Bhutanese that spirituality doesn't have to be serious to be meaningful. His life and stories continue to inspire and amuse, reminding us all that joy and laughter are essential parts of the spiritual journey. A nation's identity is deeply rooted in the language spoken by its people and the spiritual traditions they follow. In Bhutan, the most widely spoken language is Dzongkha, the country's official language. Derived from the Tibetan script, Dzongkha has evolved into its own unique linguistic identity. Spoken primarily in Western Bhutan, it serves as the language of government, education, and media. However, Bhutan is home to a rich diversity of languages, with more than 19 dialects spoken throughout the country, particularly in remote regions. Some of these include Shachopka, spoken in the east, and Lot Shampar, a language spoken by the Nepali ethnic community in the south. This linguistic diversity is a reflection of Bhutan's geographic and cultural variety. Bhutan's spiritual heart lies in its deeply rooted religious traditions. The dominant religion is Vajrayana Buddhism, practiced by around 75% of the population. This form of Buddhism, also known as Tantric Buddhism, is not only a religion but also a way of life, influencing everything from Bhutan's art to its architecture and festivals. Monastic institutions are at the center of Bhutanese society, and the teachings of Padmasambhava, the founder of Buddhism in Bhutan, remain central to its spiritual fabric. At the same time, about 23% of Bhutan's population practices Hinduism, primarily among the Lhotshampa people in the southern regions. Both religions coexist peacefully, with Bhutan's policies promoting religious tolerance and harmony. Language and religion are key threads in the fabric of Bhutanese life. Dzong serves as a unifying language, while Vajrayana Buddhism shapes the spiritual and cultural essence of the kingdom. Together, they form the pillars of Bhutan's unique identity. And that brings us to the end of our journey through the breathtaking kingdom of Bhutan, a land where ancient traditions, vibrant spirituality, and awe-inspiring landscapes come together. If you enjoyed this dive into Bhutan's culture and history, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with others who are curious about the world. And we want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and let us know which nation you'd love to see featured next. Your input could guide the next adventure in this series. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.